All right, we're going to start part 3 off here. We're out here in the Helix out in my garage. It's a little chilly out here today, a little chilly outside today. So, as you can see, these 3 doors here, the very upper one is on the upper level. It has that crossing in it that I talked about earlier. And this track right here in the foreground here is, or this platform here is the RF&P staging. All right, that will go out to Fredericksburg and they will drop however many cars that they have. All right, the other track, if we can see over there, if I can zoom in a little bit here, that track comes out from Battlefield Yard and travels down the Helix here. My Helix is an Ashland design kit that came, I don't know if they're in business now, but it definitely saved me some money. It was $150 shipped to my house, and everything was cut, and all I had to do was assemble it and put track in it, and boom, done. It took a little bit to get together and everything, but these, if you know anything about Helixes, they are major track eaters. So make sure you have plenty of flex track. All right. So as we follow the Helix down, it comes down here to this turnout here, and this is the beginning of my passing siding that goes right into the layout on the lower level. The next part will be inside on the lower. This double track is at Parker. All right, if we keep following this track to the bottom layer level of the layout, we will actually come around to this smaller door here on the right, which leads to my hidden staging here, which I stage a train or 2 here just for to run east to Fredericksburg, or one comes from Fredericksburg and to here. All right. You can see I've got these plastic bags, and it actually, the plastic bags is just like a part of insulation. The doors actually come down, and so the insulation gets around the track and everything to keep, make sure I don't have any drafts or anything, because definitely want to keep my office warm there. Try to operate in between seasons here instead of the winter or the summertime where you have the heat and the cool air out here. So, and cool air, I mean in the wintertime. So, like we have now. So, all right, this is the Helix out here. Let's go inside to Parker and check that out on the lower level. All right, guys, we are down here on the lower level. As you can see, this area right here does not have any scenery at all. I've got some landforms. I've got some pink pieces of foam. That's what I use for my landforms and stuff like that. As you can see, coming out of this is the very corner of my room here, right of the throat of the Battlefield Yard. So I believe the upper level is 54 inches, and then the lower level drops down 9 inches, which I think brings it right to 45, if my calculations are correct, if my numbers are right. So anyways, so it comes out of this, out of the garage from the Helix, and the Helix takes probably about 7, 8, 9 minutes to come around, because it goes around a few times, and I'll show you pictures of that here in a minute. And it comes to a double track, and there is a switch out there, which I have a passing siding. So I wanted to add a passing siding somewhere on the lower level so I can pass some trains and stuff like that, because a lot of times it adds a little interest to a single track railroad. All right, so we have the end of the passing siding here, which is called Parker Junction, or just Parker. And if you look at my map at the very beginning, Parker's about halfway. Back in the 30s and stuff, it was actually a pretty happening place. It had a water tower, a little water tank, and everything like that for the steam locomotives back then. So Parker is my little, I wouldn't say metropolis, but it's a little dot on the map here. Pretty country. The double track comes into right here, and we can see another track that comes that actually is my my lower level is my where I can run a train all the way around, and I can't think of exactly what that's called right now. So pretty much I can test my trains out. I can put my bridge here, and I can run a continuous loop is what I'm looking for. All right. And so we'll back away, and we can see the signals there, but the signals are facing away from us there in the distance. And one of the cool things is I'm never going to be able to see those especially when I put trees and everything over here and everything. And I want to kind of disguise the tunnels or the holes to the wall and everything. That's where I'm going to put trees and stuff. I might put an overpass. I'm not really sure yet. So what I have down here on the lower level, as you can see, I have two switches. So we have a green and let me bend this down so we can see. And then we have a we can turn them off, and then we have the reds. Okay, so that I can program which tracks the signals are, so you can go by the signals from here. All right, even though they don't light up down there, they light up down here so you can see them. And of course, I've got switches here to do. That's actually the staging tracks, I do believe. I've got the switches down here, and these are all caboose switches down here. All right, so as we travel around, we hit a backdrop. We've got a little thing. I've got to fix this. Get my wires going up to the upper level and my lights and everything for down here. So, and here's Parker. Parker's, if you went to Parker today, it's not too far from my house actually. There's no station there, and you can kind of see the logistics here. We have east of Fredericksburg. We have the passing siding here. And we have the Locust Grove branch. If you're familiar with Orange County, you know what a Locust Grove is. And that's just what I call that branch, even though it wasn't in my main line. And then west to Orange. So as we travel to the right down here, we're actually going to the west. All right, and so we've got the depot there, the post office. All right, and then we go down here. We got our road, which I'm still working on. I got a signal there, and that would be the Parker Interlocking there. We do have a bridge across almost like a canalway and things like that. Not too prototypical. There are some canals and stuff here on the river where I live at, so I was kind of going for that. This is something left over for an 0 and 30 layout that was actually down here at one time, so I'm just trying to incorporate. I've got to redo that whole little area there. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot of streams and stuff on my layout. The track does have a turnout right on top of the bridge. You can see that. And we're going to have a bridge. Actually, we're going to have another road that goes down, goes across this canal here, kind of bends off, and we'll have these buildings that'll be part of the kind of a neighborhood, I would say. No houses or nothing, just kind of sheds and stuff. Nothing too much. I'm not sold on those buildings yet. All right, and then we come to one of our industries here in Parker. All right, this is, and I do not have a name for it yet, but I do have a name for it, I just can't think of it right now. But this is a furniture warehouse, and it's got a lot of things going on here. All right, so let's go down here. And I just actually worked on this during Christmas vacation here, or the holidays here in the last couple weeks. So we've got, of course, the thing doesn't want to, there we go. So we've got wood chips here on that track there. As you can see, the loader here, and I've got the scenery is very minimal here. And I've got a picture in the background that's kind of leaning. But as we can see here, I'm trying to move that down. We do have kind of like a place to park and everything like that. We've got box cars that go in the buildings and stuff like that. And I do have a little interior there. That's just a picture. So, the camera doesn't want to cooperate, sorry. We'll back off here. So, just a pretty, we got the older part of the building here. Then we go down and we have kind of the newer part, which is down here. So I'll kind of move down and try to get you a good view of this. All right, and you can see it comes through. We've got another loading dock down here, and we've got all different types of wood chip hoppers and stuff like there. And so the track kind of ends right in there, and and of course the little corner here. And this kind of is a very small. This is a weird piece of trackage and actually layout, because the door actually goes right up against this. This is why I've got this weird hole here in my fascia. That's where the doorknob goes right there. So, you know, everything had to be adopted and to fit my space here. Door opening the other way would be great, but I don't have that. I might do that eventually, but anyways. All right, so this is the town of Parker. I'll give you a pretty cool view from that way. You can see right here. This is where my my platform goes here, where we can cross over to the rest of the layout to make this a continuous loop here, and actually continue our trackage west to Orange. All right, we are back. We're still here at Parker, and so when we span this removable section here, which is removed when we when there, of course, there's no, I'm not running trains or anything like that. So to get from Parker to the rest of the layout, I have to put in this bridge here, and it's removable, and it fits pretty good. So then we come over here to the town of St. Just, and like Parker, we've got some scenery over here. Well, Parker's got a little bit of scenery, and this had to do some scenery also. So the tracks come in from here, and it's single track through here, but we see we got some industry spurs, and if we zoom, let me see if I can zoom here. If we zoom in, we do have a crossing, and we've got a building, and I can move this over so you can see that. So this is actually up in the layout. Had to do all this before I built it, put the lights in and everything like that. So we do have a turnout, and this turnout comes over to here to two switches, and we can see this is back by the door again. All right, so what we're going to add here is what I'd like to do is have like a gravel loading kind of from the trucks where they just dump it right into the to the hoppers down below here. This spur here is probably going to be like a pulpwood or a wood chip loading spur, something like that. So it's going to be two industries over here. So of course they haven't been done yet. That's one reason they're kind of sitting there just kind of in limbo. Then we come over to here. This is, and of course all of this is right below Rappahannock Aggregates. And I need to put a wall and everything back there. You can see it over to the other side of the layout there. And we just have this hopper there and this building kind of sitting there for temporary. And once again, this is another little industry that'll, you know, get a switch here, there, and occasionally every week or so. So just a couple industries for this rural part of America here in Orange County in St. Just. You know, as we can see, it goes right on out and through. I wish I could zoom in here. My camera's not in. As you can see, it kind of goes across the crossing and then goes kind of into kind of a hidden staging area, and then once it will come back out to the other side of the layout there. So I will show you that next. Well, guys, I think I hear a train in the distance. And man, did we luck out here today. Talk about good timing.